I'm about to play Sifu after this video, and I haven't gotten any training in.
Creators in the world are at the center of a scam, and I don't know if I should talk about it. Some have been defrauded, others are associated, and most are plain embarrassed. But I don't want to get sued. I mean, what do you think I should do?
Here, have a
Chad, I'm about to start my career full-time scamming.
drink.
Play
And
Zelda.
maybe start at the beginning.
Thanks. It started 2 months ago. Hello, this is Coffeezilla.
I know who you are. And
What are
I've
we
got something
watching?
for you.
Tell me more.
Alright, well this is for sure a lie. There's no way you look that cool.
Like, who is this?
Okay, maybe I exaggerated the setting a bit, but I did get a call.
What last TV?
Hello?
Chad, I want to buy a big fatback TV and play something on it one time. I remember I had this silver one. It was a 19-inch. I don't remember the brand of it. It had a VCR or a DVD compartment underneath. Y'all remember those TVs? Oh my God, those were the days. I just want one again just to make me feel nostalgic. I'm going to put it in a separate one of these guest rooms just to have an old school vibe.
Coffeezilla, I've got a scam for you. It's called Revolt. Huge influencers, lies, people haven't been paid.
How much are we talking?
Not sure. Rumors 5 mil, and some of the merchandise still hasn't shipped. You interested?
Yeah, can I source you?
Nah, keep me anonymous on this one.
Now this sounds more like the coffee I know.
Yeah, you're missing the point. After getting this call and finishing my very important business, I started digging around. But the same word kept cropping up.
What happened?
You have heard of Revolt. Can I put this on the record?
Revolt.
No, keep it anonymous.
All right, this is great info, but how do you feel about going public?
Sorry, keep my name out of it.
Keep me anonymous, please.
Yeah, I can keep you anonymous, sure. I was hitting a wall and I was getting frustrated. Little by little, though, a picture emerged. Not fully on the record, not fully off. The voices of more than a dozen anonymous calls complaining about this one merch company, Revolt, run by a guy named Ryan Piacente.
Oh, it's a different Revolt.
Isn't he
Okay.
the guy who runs the Misfits?
Yeah, the YouTuber group. And believe me, they'll be involved later. The point is, I was hearing about this merch company, Revolt, and everyone said in 2019 through 2021, it was extremely successful, working
I heard of the Misfits before.
with everyone.
I don't know what they do, but I heard of them.
And of course, in exchange for this success, Revolt was happy to take a cut of each of these merch drops. In fact, I obtained some of Revolt's sales numbers from 2021, showing how much only 5 of their drops
Jesus
made.
Christ.
20 million in revenue. I mean, mind-blowing numbers. These creators, who I've hidden for privacy, made $12 million. Revolt, for their cut, should have made $4 million.
Now that is a mystery. How do you screw up such a business making so much money?
That's what I wanted to find out. Problem was, no one would go public.
Then you have nothing, right? Rumors, innuendo, maybe. But if no one will talk,
No, that's the thing that kills me about this story. Most of the creators did talk. Employees talked. Everyone behind the scenes, they couldn't stop talking. This is why I'm struggling with this story. If it was just off the record, I'd kill it. If everyone was on the record,
it's an easy story.
right, but it's neither. I'm in limbo.
Okay, I get it. They're not talking.
Well,
So what
let's
happened?
Just get to what the accusations are.
That's
then.
what I'm saying. I'm the robot in this
Anonymously.
situation.
I was just getting to that. As I was saying, Revolt made huge profits, massive merch drops, but there was another side of things. Ryan Piacente had a spending problem. He took 6 private jet trips in a month, thousands of dollars every night on dinner. We have receipts for, by the way. They spent $25,000 a week to rent a mansion in LA.
It's never this serious.
And they rented a Ferrari for $20,000 for a week. But the thing was, it wasn't really Ryan footing the bill. It was actually
Revolt.
right. Even as this company's raking in money, hand over fist, they were spending more than they could afford, which was brought up to Ryan as a problem.
Don't trouble
So
them.
why aren't you a millionaire?
He spends money like a
Did you always spend money like an idiot?
Yeah, I've always spent money like a. I mean, the thing with money is I like to be able to provide that experience to everybody. So a lot of the money that I spend is actually on other people for the most part because I'm just like, yeah, let's do it. Like, let's have fun.
Yikes.
Idiot.
So they just spent it all? Is that it? Is that the scam?
No. You're getting ahead of me. Look, Mind topping me off?
Sure, sure. If it'll get you to spill the beans.
Pause?
So what else?
Well, the spinning part was just the start of it. At this point, Ryan's plan was described to me by a source who knew him as Creator A does a drop. Ryan would then spend a large chunk of that on private jets, Nobu, Balenciaga, and then Creator B does a drop, but Creator A still owed money. And so Ryan pays Creator A with Creator B's
Oh, this
money.
shit again.
Little Ponzi-ish, if you ask me. But the key here is that this works as long as each merch drop is bigger than the last. You can keep paying for everything. But Revolt was starting to have issues. According to former employees, Revolt had terrible logistics experience, which is okay when you sell 400 units, but when you sell 40,000 in one day, that's a problem. Not only that, Revolt is starting to pull in bigger and bigger talent, and these influencers are demanding bigger and bigger minimum guarantees. Ryan agrees, but things aren't like before. Some of those merch drops underperform. Now Revolt owes money not just to minimum guarantees, but they also were counting on these new merch drops to pay their older clients.
Jesus.
So they started delaying payments.
Ah, here we go.
That's right. For the first time, creators, they start actually posting about their experiences. Not off the record, publicly.
Honestly, it's actually a really nice t-shirt, like in like a chill way.
Thank you. We're not going to talk about the company I made it with because they stole everything from me.
So, okay, like I get they're a bad company. Can you put me on their send list, please? Just like for everyone. I'll take all their merch.
Dude, I'm not sure anyone will ever make merch with them again after recently.
It was finally happening. Big creators had started to talk about Revolt. Carl Jacobs said they're the worst people ever that just blatantly lie. Smosh founder Anthony Padilla says Revolt still hasn't paid me. It's been months. Now, I should say, for the record, that he eventually got his issue resolved. But underneath his post,
Yeah, but that's one out of probably I don't know how many people.
another creator posted, Niachu, saying they haven't paid me either. Now, I called her, and for the first time in this case, I got a breakthrough.
I am Nikki Niachu. I'm a Twitch streamer, and Revolt owes me $300,000.
300,000? What was Buddy's name? Think we're taking a trip to LA? Or wherever the fuck that Nobu is?
That's so hard to hear. That's so
I know.
unbelievable.
And it wasn't just her not getting paid. She explained that also people who ordered from her, some of them didn't even get their order.
After everything was shipped, first of all, a lot of people in Europe didn't get their merch. And I messaged them about it, and they said, yeah, we'll look into it. Never did. A lot of my friends who bought merch never received it.
To this date,
Yes.
these
to this-
orders, which were in 2022,
Yes.
have not
A
been
year
sent out
ago?
or received.
Yes.
Now, as bad as that sounds, as I looked closer, I realized this was common, really common. Delays, missing orders. Sometimes the order would just be wrong, like when they sent out a pin collection but forgot the pins. Now, because of this, an insider at Revolt told me pin collection but forgot
What the fuck?
orders. Sometimes the order would just be wrong, like when they sent out a
No, that's
pin collection
hilarious.
but
I'm sorry, that's hilarious. That's the best scam of all time.
forgot the pins. Now, because of this, an insider at Revolt told me that in December of 21, they had over 100,000 customer support tickets open for quality issues and items not being shipped. And that gets us to the good part.
You motherfucker.
In a world where common sense takes a backseat and physics
You
is
motherfucker!
suggestion, comes a movie that punches logic in the face.
Are you ready for best pizza of life?
Speaking of clothes, before
Bring friends
seafood
down
I
to
got a link
Pepperoni
that I
Hut
think
Spot.
you might find interesting.
Our chefs
Found
make
it last
pizza with
night.
heart and
I'll
special
drop
touch.
it in the chat.
Tired of watching low effort content?
Today?
Then come on down to patreon.com/Coffeezilla. If you support high effort investigations, you also get all these
I'm not gonna lie, bro. This is a really nice ad integration.
perks. But wait, there's more.
Fuck you, though.
One.
Thanks. Remember that insider document I showed you earlier?
Yeah.
I just tried to skip the ad. Yeah, I wanted to see if it was interactive.
Made me want to sell merch.
What I didn't tell you is that it was all part of a pitch deck for Mr. Beast. See, Ryan Piacente had met Jimmy, and he wanted to convince him to work with Revolt. So he creates this pitch deck, You've seen the other creator sales numbers, but there were also ideas for Mr. Beast in there, like NFTs you could redeem for merch. And there were also some financial projections. On their first drop together, Revolt claimed Mr. Beast would make $4 million. Across 3 years, $50 million in annual profit.
There's no way.
That's what I thought. I thought maybe the team was delusional enough to think it was possible, though. So I asked. According to insiders at the company, they actually met Jimmy and started discussing minimum guarantees and how Revolt would 10x his merch business over the next 2 years. But check this out. This being impossible was openly discussed by the Revolt team.
Oh no, they knew?
Yeah, and this is where things go from bad to worse. So Mr. Beast gets this minimum guarantee deal to do his 100 million subscriber collection with Revolt, right? But Revolt doesn't sell like they claimed they would. It does revenue way below expected, meaning Revolt didn't hit their minimum guarantee.
Okay.
So what do they do?
Well, this is where things dip into fraud, right? Our insider says, I assume this is when they decided to increase cost of goods, meaning Revolt charged Mr. Beast more for every item of clothing than he was actually paying for at the factory.
That's a pretty huge accusation. Where's the evidence?
My question exactly. I got sent this.
What exactly am I looking at here?
What I just sent you is the pricing sheet from the Chinese factory, top left. You can see the invoice item says RVLT, meaning Revolt, MRB, Mr. Beast. There's unit order sizes and prices.
And what are these ink marks?
These are the
That's where
changes.
were made. See, somebody wrote down next to the factory prices, new prices.
And these seems, well, that's not very subtle.
Higher prices.
Did you talk to Mr. Beast about this?
Well, nobody would talk on the record, but I confirmed that Revolt charged higher prices to their team like it says in ink. Revolt charged more per item than they were actually paying the Chinese factories, according to their own insiders.
Who else did this happen to?
That's the thing, we don't know. I asked around and the closest I got was an answer from a former employee. This person claims right as
Just inking that on the same page is so insane to me.
I was exiting the business, he started talking about that. The production manager said she could get the factories to write whatever she wanted on invoices. So it's definitely possible this happened more. It's hard to say. What I do know is when the money ran out, it all fell apart.
What do you mean?
Well, the merch business has a lot of middlemen. People who create the shirts, warehouses, store it, fulfillment centers. The thing is, Ryan was running out of money for all of it. What is this? Misfits Merch Company going under. Earlier this year, the Salvation Army Arc Memphis received a donation of 100 plus clothing items from Revolt Factory, the merch company. This ranges from Corpse Husband hoodies to Swagger Soul hoodies and other scuffed merch. With everything coming out about the Misfits quietly shutting down, it makes sense that they were selling and donating old stock.
They donated it?
Basically, from what I heard, the storage fees weren't paid on time to the fulfillment center, so they donated people's clothing to get rid of it. So not only are people not getting their merch on time, some of it is literally sitting on eBay because Revolt didn't pay their bills on time.
So the shit that people pay for already that they didn't get, they're reselling and giving away to liquidate? Why won't anybody say anything?
I assume you reached out to Ryan Piacente about all this, though, right?
Yeah, multiple times. And we might have talked, but he ghosted me when the next wave of accusations came.
There's another
I think
wave?
it's time to go public about this. Wait, did you say there's more accusations?
Why am I the robot?
I mean, the thing with money is I like to be able to provide that experience to everybody. So a lot of the money that I spend is actually on other people for the most part because I'm just like, yeah, let's do it. Like, let's have fun.
Yeah, but like, what about clothes? How about that? How about putting that on people?
You're a psychopath. Actually, or maybe a sociopath, whatever the difference is.
Operational sociopath.
You have, that is a character you have, though.
Wait, what? What kind of predator?
Welcome back to the $10 million studio. I was investigating what I thought was a case of financial fraud, but what happened next made it also a case of YouTube's own version of Harvey Weinstein. And
There's
I don't mean to
no-
say that to exaggerate the severity of the accusations you're about to hear. I do say it to convey the seriousness, similarities, and signal that the following is disturbing. Now, if that sounds a little too graphic, I understand if you need to click off the video. We normally don't cover these types of allegations. However, I felt that given we found this halfway through the investigation, we couldn't ignore it.
This has literally been in existence in every stream. We started watching Cat Williams in the beginning as he's talking about P. Diddy inviting him to his little parties. Then we see a Charleston White video where he's talking about his accusations when it comes to him playing quote unquote rapist on the internet. Then not long after that, we're met with another video of a child predator, and he has a child, Mr. Carl, who's a programmer. Then not long after that, we're watching this video, and there's another predator. They're everywhere.
See, it all started last year when there was a serious allegation about Ryan Piacente being a predator. It was made by an insider at The Misfits, the YouTubers that Ryan managed, and this guy went by Peckett. These allegations range from being coerced into inappropriate acts, witnessing Ryan perv on his employees in the shower, break into clients' phones to search for private photos, take advantage of men who he has given way too much alcohol and drugs, and a lot more. Now, when this accusation first came out, and at the start of me investigating, there wasn't much in the way of proof. The only thing verifiable was that Ryan encouraged others to get trashed, which we know because the Misfits themselves talked about it.
So funny compared to like now when that's just
that's why he liked to party so much.
the norm. Like people get f***ed up all the time.
Yeah.
No, he's just the one encouraging everyone else to.
Yeah.
Now, besides this piece of evidence, there wasn't much else in the way of corroborating evidence until October, when
I wouldn't assume that you'd be including it in this video that's going to be viewed 5 million plus times unless you have something concrete. Please don't hit me with nothing that involves children, bro. I mean, don't hit me with any of this at all, bro. Because please, we just need less and less of this in the world.
2 more stories came out that had very similar stories to the original, and I knew we had to take them very seriously. In one story, a guy who was between 18 and 19 was told by Ryan, quote, he saw potential in me before being assaulted in the shower. The other guy was in their early 20s and tells a story of how he was invited to a party with the Misfits, a YouTuber group he liked. But in order to get in the house, he was forced to inhale a substance as a condition of entry.
Oh
Later,
my
extremely
God.
intoxicated, he was also assaulted by Ryan Piacente in the shower. Now, let me remind you that these all are allegations. But let me also tell you that 4 other people have come forward who know Ryan and corroborated his character. One person says, one day I'll tell my Ryan P story, but for now I'll just say this. This rabbit hole goes deep. This person has been abusing his power and money for years. The trail of victims that follow this man is staggering. Another says, I've known Ryan since we were 16. He was always a weird, pervy dude from the start. Billy says, Ryan P has been a disgusting individual for years. Personally, I've seen him do very questionable things. Yet another says Ryan P is a master manipulator. I myself was manipulated by him for far too long. But that's not all, that's just what's public. Behind the scenes, I began to receive much more. One guy told me Ryan offered to fly him out and give him $5,000 to cover work. He showed me receipts of this payment from Ryan.
God.
He then told me, I end up going and it's all good for the first few hours, but when I went to the bathroom, he followed me and without going into detail, assaulted me when I clearly was extremely uncomfortable. Now, this story specifically has a thread we're going to follow because there's numerous allegations Ryan would use money to coerce people into situations they wouldn't otherwise do, like paying this guy $5,000 to come over for work. Or more commonly, he'd pay creators who were struggling for explicit photos of themselves. People sent me emails they'd get notifying them of Twitter DMs from Ryan asking for explicit photos, along with accompanying payments from Ryan. The reason I'm telling you about all this is not only that it demonstrates this behavior was happening.
Did they send the video?
And provides a financial paper trail, but some of it dovetails into fraud. Because as I started asking for some of these financial documents, I found that Ryan would often not just pay people from personal accounts. he would use
this fucking idiot.
business accounts to pay for these things, specifically the Misfits business account. Remember, that's the beloved YouTuber group people supported through Patreon, merch, through a podcast.
Oh my god, bro.
Turns out their company accounts were being used in part to pay for explicit photos of some of the fans of the show. I was shown these payments, and the question is, why even do this? To write it off your taxes? No matter the reason, this is like some weird form of fraud. It's not the kind that I normally like to talk about, but who uses their business account for this? We also need to talk about what happened in April of 2016 as well.
Can we not? What the fuck?
When Ryan asked a fan, can we get married? When she told him she was 16.
Oh my god. Bro, this isn't good. This is just a... Is there nothing better to do when you get money? Why do you have to find yourself in the most degenerate and in the most like nastiest, most despicable wormholes humanly imaginable? Why can't you do regular people shit? Find hobbies and do regular people things. You are a florist, or you're a gardener, or you're really into cars, or you're really into film, and you start investing a ton of the money that you generate from all the sales that you've had and all the success on social media into those hobbies. Why do you immediately run into this sexual assault pipeline? I get being bored, but this is crazy to me. Why is it the same shit for all of y'all? It don't make any sense.
He said,
and it's not everybody. Obviously, I'm overblowing it, but for it to be such a consistent pattern, like Jesus Christ, there has to be another interest.
Come back in 2 years, which would be when she was 18. But 1 year later,
I
Ryan
think we should
reached
be
back
asking
out.
why financially success people are always on some sick shit.
It's all the time. Like, does your brain go to nothing constructive or to help out or anything outside of just the worst shit humanly imaginable in my brain? Like, that's what I want to invest into.
Out saying this, quote, I retweeted your selfie. Do I get nudes? She replies, that's illegal. He says, quote, don't worry.
Waiting
I
for
ain't
someone
no
to turn
snitch.
18 to immediately jump on the opportunity is still equally predatory.
It's the worst. Nobody would debate.
Now, I asked the person who gave me these if she thought he was joking at the time. She responded, no, I think it was legit because it happened a lot on Snapchat. And he fully tried to give me money to do it. Now, this once again corroborates the creepy behavior we've seen from Ryan Piacente in the past. So for those of you who have been counting, we now have 5 independent accusations, some anonymous, some fully on the record. We have multiple forms of evidence, firsthand accounts, DMs, payment processing receipts, and we have 4 independent character testimonies from people who claim to know Ryan. Now, as always, I've tried to reach out to Ryan to get his side of the story 7 times over 2 months and have gotten nothing in the way of an explanation. The last I heard, he was spotted at an airport, and we have no idea of his whereabouts since.
That nigga's in Thailand, bro. We never seen him again. He's off the grid completely. He's gone. He'll never be back in this country.
Now,
and he took all y'all money.
This investigation has been exhausting, honestly, both emotionally and just to carry all the details in my heads of all the accusations, the whistleblowers. So I imagine for you it's been kind of confusing as well. So
It's been exhausting.
I want to summarize this piece so we don't miss anything. There's really 2 sides to the story. We have Revolt the company and Misfits, a YouTuber group. In one, Ryan is basically accused of running a Ponzi-type merch company where he spent too much money and needed bigger and bigger merch drops to pay off debts and minimum guarantees. When that didn't work, he resorted to faking invoices to creators like MrBeast to increase cost of goods, while being so bad at logistics that even when creators got paid, their fans received their merch late, the wrong merch, or
no merch at all.
And occasionally, creators' merch would just get donated to charity, so that's fun too. And that's just part 1. Then you have the Misfits, where Ryan used his proximity to fame and money to abuse a series of guys and girls through a pattern of grooming, intoxication, and then assault.
Yo, the back of his head is built crazy, dude.
Usually involving a shower somewhere. The damage this man has done is hard to calculate because it's not just a financial number on a spreadsheet. People have stopped creating content because of Ryan. Others have had mental health breakdowns, and it's past time we warn people about him so no one else gets hurt. Thank you for watching and supporting through viewing, subscribing, checking out the Patreon. I'm so indebted to this community, and I will see you in 2024.
I don't know if you'll see me at all. Chat, I gotta make sure I have this isn't a normal pipeline. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that this is a normal pipeline, but oh my God, bro. If you have nothing to do, just help somebody, bro. Cause there's nowhere for. I didn't think it was real when my elder ones would tell me when I was younger. I didn't think it was real, but like Idle Mind being like the devil's workshop, it sounds like a conspiracy, but these people just keep proving it. They just keep proving it right constantly. When you gonna drop your merch? I have zero idea. But like I said, I've been working on it for a minute anyway. You know, and I'm gonna try to do it as independently as possible. You know, but it'll be at some point. You'll get it. But just know, you know, it's in the works and everything like that. Where's your crop top? Don't worry about it. Facts, bro.